One of music problem was backmasking. It existed during the middle of the 1960s until the late 80s. It is a recording technique in which a sound or message, when played backwards, makes the song melody remains the same, but the change persists in the fact that the lyrics is different from the original song, sending satanic hidden messages to the listener. This technique was used the most in rock and heavy metal bands, but it grew with the Beatles. This new technique, hidden messages, were published by the artist, created a big controversy in the United States during the decades of the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Christian groups created accusations about this technique because they thought that rock bands were using music to satanic purposes. Religion claimed that rock music, by using backmasking, was able to induce the listener to sex and drug abuse, which eventually led to the burning of vinyls by extremist groups following religion. According to Pastor Jacob Aranza, who wrote in the 1982 a book called Backward Masking Unmasked, he says, rock bands are using the technique to transmit satanic messages drug-related to the subconscious. He also claimed that subliminal satanic messages could disturb human behavior. During the time that Pastor Jacob was active in California, he approved as a law the fact that any distribution of a musical recording that included backmasking would be invading the privacy of individuals, and therefore the dealer could be sued. This new trend made that most of rock artists learned and experiment the technique of backmasking, allowing them more fame by including the effects of a reverse tape. The Beatles, who did not invent this backmasking, made it popular. The first case of a reverse message in the Beatles group was with the song Rain. Another artistic group that presented backmasking was Queen, when they launched the single Another One Bite the Dust from the album The Game. A few years later, when the song became a classic rock, a group of evangelical Christians accused the group, saying that it contained subliminal messages by using backmasking. Although Freddie Mercury thought it was a joke, he denied that the song had such content. A few years later, psychologists John R. Vokey and J. Don Reed conducted a study in 1985 to conclude the following. After the study, we could not find any significant effect of the inverted message on the behavior of listeners, consciously or unconsciously. The conclusion is that backmasking sends wrong subliminal hidden messages to the listeners. It may be, for some people, an unrespectable thing to do because it changes human thoughts by placing wrong messages into young people's mind.